I was okay with this the first time I saw it, but now that I'm like home alone, oh my. Hi guys, Scuffly Off here, welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we're going to be looking at scary signs. And that sounds a bit weird, but I was chilling, minding my own business on Reddit, and I found some really weird looking signs. Some of them are pretty scary, so basically I'm going to just be going through some of the ones I've saved on Reddit, and I'm just going to be going through them and technically just review the weird looking signs on Reddit. So first up we have this one that says, wear a seatbelt. There's a full ass person in that sign, but yeah, basically the entire sign is empty, but there's some legs and someone it says wear a seatbelt. Which yes, wear a seatbelt. It's very important that you wear a seatbelt because don't know what you can. It's there, but wear a seatbelt. That one was just a bit kind of like just really weird. The next one's kind of depressing, but it's a snow angel in the snow at a ski rink, I think, and it basically says somebody was learning how to ski, like a little girl, and somebody got out of control and ran her over. So yeah, just be careful when you're skiing, I guess. But this one was like, if I saw that I would be really depressed, but I get how sometimes you have to do shock factor for people to actually listen. The next sign on the list, I don't really know why this sign would exist, but it's basically a hand coming up from the ground. Right now I couldn't think of a possible explanation for that apart from zombies, but like where would that be? What could that mean? Like quicksand maybe? I don't know, construction, you could fall down a hole. I don't get where that would be a situation. To me that just looks like a zombie apocalypse and the zombies are just coming back from the grave, if I'm being honest. The next one is at a play park, which is really concerning, and just says, danger, poisonous gas, do not enter. At a play park. A play park! Like, some kid's gonna wonder what that is and try and open it. Like, if they're not being carefully supervised, somebody's gonna try and open that. And what happens if like the lid just combusts and just comes off? Everyone's gonna die. Like, that's really concerning. That's over like a play park. Like, what was that before? Why is there even poison? Why is there even poisonous gas there in the first place? Like, what is going on? This other one is, they've put these signs are on doors that close up elevators from the rest of the building. So it makes more sense when you read that. But if you just read caution, fire may be on the other side, you're like, why is your, like, the thing that I imagined was there's a room on fire, but there's a door, and somehow the room just keeps burning, and the door isn't, or nothing inside of the room is really like decaying, like the walls. So it's just a constant fire pit in the room, which is what I had in my head until I read these are on elevators, which makes a lot of sense. I was trying to think of like, if it wasn't an elevator, why else would there be fire? Is it just like a big room of fire and then you open it, it goes whoosh? I don't know. The next one is very good of the current topics that we're all experiencing right now. But this one is like, after a bus driver was exhibiting flu-like symptoms, the bus was quarantined. And we're all being quarantined, we're all being self-quarantined right now, even though we may or may not have it. I'm having a field day here. I'm making a whole entire video on that, but I'm having a field day being inside because I've been inside my entire life, so like it's not really an issue. But I'm loving this, if I'm being honest. So not really bothering me, but I know how some people are very much affected by this. But yeah, basically the bus just has a little sign on it that says COVID-19. You're like, Shibuki, spooky. This next one is an emergency call box, which I don't think we have here in Scotland, but it basically says the emergency call point is out of order. Which is like, what if you have an emergency? Probably people have their phones at this day and age, but like, what if somebody gets murdered right next to that post? Like, they've got, well, they get murdered, they can't phone anyway, but like, what if like they witness something, or they've just been robbed, or someone's trying to kill them and they get away and they find the box and like, haha, a piece of hope. It's out of order. Like, that would be me. In a situation that somebody was trying to kill me, there would be an emergency post box, whatever that is, and it would be out of order. My only source of help, and it would be out of order knowing my luck, because I have extremely bad luck. It's kind of something that would be in like a parody movie, like Scary Movie, like she's running from the killer and then she finds an emergency post box but she sees it from like behind, so she's running up to it like, oh help me, and then she goes to turn and it's like out of order and there's like nothing she can do and she's just like, where's she? And the killer just, you know, like a bit morbid. I don't know, but it reminds me of like Scary Movie, like the parody of it. The parody of Scream, it reminds me very much of that. Beware of falling snakes. Now if this was like a cliff or something, maybe I would understand it, but it looks like a factory building and there's beware of falling snakes. Like either I'm reading that wrong or snakes is like a code word for something else that I'm just not aware of, but like all I can picture is just like somebody just walking by and a snake either falls on their head or next to them. Ghost. But yeah, like, Kenny, can you not be falling down? Do you want to sit over here? Here you go. Why are snakes just falling from the sky? Maybe there's an airplane, snakes on a plane, the plane combusted. Why do I keep using that word? But the plane exploded, all the snakes are coming down. I don't know. This next one is just area closed, but it seems that it's been covered in sand. So the scary thing about this, and the reason it's on this list, is the fact it says area closed and basically underneath I would assume it says beware, because that's a little bit too little much on a sign if you ask me. So I would assume there's something under there that probably says like beware of something, but you can't see that, and soon if the sand keeps rising the way it is, you're not going to be able to see the sign, which means you're just walking into danger because the sign is completely covered. Now, that scares me because I am scared of everything in this planet. Signs that you can't see scares the bejeebus out of me. Just saying. The next one just says, warning, trespassers will be used for science experiments. Is this Area 51? What is going on here? Hello, I'm pretty sure you can't just, well, no, I'm pretty sure you can't just take trespassers and be like, okay, you're my new guinea pig, I'ma test you on shit. Like, I'm pretty sure that's not how things happen, but I guess, like, maybe it's just like a scare tactic. Maybe you won't actually be used for science experiments, but like it's still, it's pretty scary. Also, like the caption says with love from Cody, which is quite funny. It's like something so aggressive and just like, with love and care from me. I think it's quite funny, but it's still quite scary. Like, I wouldn't want to, well, part of me would want to go in there and see what would happen. But part of me also really doesn't want to, because I don't want to be used for science experiments. Because I've seen Deadpool, that was scary. Well, not, because Deadpool was a scary movie. Like the way like they like pretty much use him as like a guinea pig and stuff, that was terrifying. The caption is pretty much, does this count as a sign? And I don't know if it counts as a sign, but like it's writing on somewhere warning you of something, telling you something, so I would say it's a sign. Apparently this is written in 2 places, so it must be true, which is kind of scary. But basically it says, bodies in the wall on the 3rd floor, old stairwell. Which kind of just looks like someone's murdered everybody in there and just left them, and instead of phoning the police they wrote it on the side of the building so the police could go in and find them. But the scary thing is, bodies in the wall, you kind of just assume that like it's like a little scary thing. It could be a song lyric, who knows, but that kind of just sounds like the walls are made out of bodies. But then it's like on the 3rd floor, old stairwell, it's kind of just like they're giving you a lot of information, like a bit too much information. So like the fact that like there's so much information, if you actually go in there, I feel like there'd be more of a possibility than if someone just said bodies in the wall. They're probably just trying to scare you, but like there's a location, like there's more detail. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like on the 3rd floor, old stairwell, that just kind of, it might be a song lyric, it might be a quote from something I'm just not picking up on, but as itself that just sounds really scary, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody called the police to see if that was true. Also, doesn't help this building looks abandoned, so either this was written way before it was abandoned, or someone just thought it would be cool and scary if they wrote it. I don't know, but it's kind of a bit eerie just to... And it's not just a body, it's bodies, so there's a multiple, which is just... This one's giving me the creeps, I'm gonna move on, but yeah, that one, quite scary. Apparently this is all the way through this place, on different people's property. Some guy named Stanley Marsh put it there, and then he died. That's all we know, so he put that there and he died, also like Stanley Marsh. South Park. Perhaps. No, but yeah, basically some guy put this sign there and he died. I don't know if he died right after he put the sign there, or maybe it's like an Illuminati thing that he's like saying that he knows and they saw it and they were like pew pew pew. Or maybe just he knew something that he wasn't supposed to know, not even by the Illuminati, maybe he was in a gang, maybe he was in a cult, who knows. But basically, apparently he put the sign there and then he died. But then again, he could have died of, I don't know, could be nothing, could be nothing. Could be a paranoid guy, could be somebody was paranoid about this guy knowing something even though he didn't know him, so they just killed him. I don't know, I feel like that would be kind of like a weird thing to put. I think the only person that the other person who knows where this thing is would understand. I don't know. Don't like that, oh my god. I was okay with this the first time I saw it, but now that I'm like home alone, oh my. The faces really make this scary, but here is the thing. It basically says, danger, automatic gate spillway upstream, do not enter canal. Water may rise rapidly without warning. Now the sign on its own is quite scary and you kind of wouldn't want to be there without like, you'd want to be a bit more cautious there. Let's just put it that way. But it's the fact that everybody here, like their faces are all blurred, and this one woman looks like she's not got a head, and this other guy looks like he's just been cut. The faces is what makes this really scary. Like apart from that, everything looks okay. Like yeah, danger, the water's gonna flow, maybe don't be here. That's understandable. It's kind of scary because you don't know what's gonna happen, but it's also kind of understandable. But then the face is like, the next one isn't, well, it's not eerie, it's just kind of more scary, and like this guy needs some help. But it's basically, the title is Welcome to the South. It basically says, if I catch you in here, it's going to be very unpleasant. Leave now, with 3 exclamation marks. He's very, very angry. But I'ma just assume that people keep coming onto his land and he's angry about it. So he's, I think he's just had enough. Enough is enough. And now he's gonna like start like doing something. I don't know what. Probably shoot them. I don't know, because it's the South and I'm pretty sure they're allowed guns up there. So, but the scary thing is, 2 things I can point out. This dude has a chain on his door and a lot of sellotape, so it looked like when he put this thing up he was angry. And then, I know this is probably just lights, but there's also like, it looks like there's 2 eyes inside of one of the windows looking at people, just like, bitch, I'm looking, bitch, I know. Like that bit I think is just a bit scary. It's probably definitely the lights reflecting, but it's just the right distance apart for eyes and it's a bit scary. Also, who's taking this photo? Is it the guy? Because I fucking hope so, because if it's like the fucks he's talking about, then they in trouble, dude. Like they in trouble. Oh, this next one is, do not refer to these dolls as creepy or spooky, they might be listening. Which I completely understand because I'm a massive believer in paranormal and all of that kind of stuff. And I do believe dolls can be haunted, but if you call them creepy or spooky, they might get like, bitch, I'm gorgeous, you know, like they might get like really, really offended by that. So then they might start haunting you, which is why if I'm near anything spooky, I'm like, hello, I love you, hello. Mainly because I do love them. My friend took me to her grand's house a few days ago and she had haunted dolls and I was just like, I love all of you. I picked one of the baby ones up and I was like treating it like a baby. Kind of in love with it. I loved it. I was in love with that doll. It was my soulmate. But yeah, I like creepy dolls and things anyway, so I'm not going to call them spooky. If anything, I'm going to call them beautiful, lovely. But the fact that the sign's there, either this is like an amusement place or something, or like a walk-in house, or maybe it's just for guests, but the fact it says they might be listening kind of assumes that they're haunted, which is even scarier. But yeah, like that one just, if you're scared of dolls, that one's going to give you the heebie-jeebies. This next one, somebody found it at work, and it's basically just, do not unplug the green cord. There is literally no cords plugged into this thing, which means somebody unplugged the green cord. And I don't know, there's also on one of them it's a lot browner, which kind of to me assumes that it went on fire. I don't know if that's how it works, but brown plugs to me usually seem like there's been a lot of heat or like something exploded, something like that. I don't know what the green cord was powering, who it was powering, what it was powering, but somebody took it out and it kind of looks like it exploded a little bit. So this other one's like, my job takes me all over the state and today, a very foggy morning, I saw this gem, which basically just says emergency siren. If emergency siren sounds for 3 to 5 minutes, tune radio to 97.3 FM, which, what is that? Like, I might be stupid to not know what that is, but basically if a siren goes off you're going to have to count it, and if it goes to 3 or 5 minutes, I would assume that tests go on for like a minute or something, and an actual one would go on for 3 or 5. So that's probably why they're like tuning the radio, but maybe it's like an emergency radio that tells you what to do. But in all, it's kind of just a little bit ominous. Now this one isn't exactly scary or anything like that, but it's one I would like to put outside of my window, because every single time somebody stands outside that window I can hear what they're talking about clear as day. And it happens a lot more frequently than like, it happens way too frequently for it to be like a coincidence, which is making me think like my house is like, I don't know, like a local gathering spot. People just like to stand outside of my window. I don't know. But yeah, it basically just says your conversations can be heard by others, which is like, I want to put it outside of my window. I'm tempted to put a sign outside of my window to tell people to maybe not stop there, because sometimes I'm going through it that day and the people talking outside of my window non-stop just really gets into my head, and then I start like, it's a lot. Again, this next one is kind of one I don't really know how to explain, but no oxygen beyond this point. What does that mean exactly? Is it a hospital and there's no oxygen tanks beyond that point, or does it mean like the entire like oxygen is just gone, so you step over that you automatically cannot breathe? I don't know where that would be a situation. If you do, please comment down below. But I don't know how that would work, and like I don't get it. The next one is really basic but quite scary, basically saying hitchhikers may be escaping inmates, which is really scary because a few, well not all inmates, but quite a few of them are in prison for a reason, and if they're murderers, they get out of prison, they hitchhike, they're gonna kill the first victim they see, take their car and go. So that's what scares me about that one. Now this one, I don't know if like most swimming places do this, but it says absolutely no swimming, and there's a picture of somebody drowning. And the reason I think this is really scary is the fact that like the person looks like a ghost. I don't know, I got bad vibes about this one. The last one, not too scary, but a little bit worrying, is please do not leave vulnerables in your car, break-ins have occurred. Which, to me, I don't like break-ins. I've had break-ins all my life, they're terrifying. Somebody breaking into your car and either stealing your car or things inside of your car, because I know some people keep very vulnerable things in there, like important details in there, so if somebody was to steal your car, or just like, I'm paranoid enough, I would park my car very far away from that. But yeah, that's basically all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you would like to see more videos like this, please let me know down in the comments below. I do want to do a lot more like this. That's all, and I'll see you in the next one.